Falcons fans, big things are happening. Today, we have an exciting story that could give us a look into the future of the team. But before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any updates this offseason. Now, let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. They have a lot of decisions to make, and while everyone is talking about Kirk Cousins, there's another big issue that needs attention: the defense. Let's be honest. Atlanta's defense struggled last season. They were one of the worst in the league when it came to putting pressure on the quarterback, getting sacks, and stopping the run. If the Falcons want to end their playoff drought, that has to change. The good news? The team is already working on it. One player to watch is Ole Miss linebacker Chris Paul Jr. According to Justin Mao from the Draft Network, the Falcons were one of 13 teams that met with Paul at the Senior Bowl last week. But here's what makes this interesting. Paul himself said that his best meetings were with the Falcons coaching staff. Here's what he had to say. "I feel like I had great interviews with every team, but I talked to the Falcons multiple times, and it was a real blessing. This is something I've worked hard for my whole life." Now, players are usually careful about what they say before the draft, but the fact that Paul specifically mentioned Atlanta, that's worth paying attention to. Why the Falcons might be interested. Chris Paul Jr. had an amazing season at Ole Miss. He led the team with 88 tackles and 11 tackles for loss, showing that he can dominate on defense. He also stood out in both the East-West Shrine game and the Senior Bowl, proving that he has what it takes to succeed in the NFL. The stats back it up, too. According to Pro Football Focus, PFF, Paul earned an elite 87.2 overall grade last season. He had 83.9 pass rushing grade, 84.6, run defense grade, 78.1 coverage grade. That's exactly the kind of well-rounded linebacker the Falcons need. Right now, Paul is ranked 65th on PFF's draft board, meaning the Falcons might have a chance to grab him in the second or third round. If they do, he could be a key player in fixing their defense. The Falcons know they need help on defense, and it looks like they're already doing their homework. What do you think, Falcons fans? Should Atlanta draft Chris Paul Jr., or do you have another player in mind? Let me know in the comments. Big coaching changes in Atlanta. The Falcons are also shaking things up on the offensive coaching staff. They just announced two big promotions that could impact the 2025 season. TJ Yates is moving from quarterbacks coach to passing game coordinator. DJ Williams is now the full-time quarterbacks coach. Both coaches will continue working with offensive coordinator Zach Robinson as the Falcons try to take their passing attack to the next level. Now, let's talk about what this means for the team. Yates is no stranger to Atlanta. Meet the coaches. Yates and Williams, TJ. Yates has been with the Falcons since 2021, starting as a passing game specialist before coaching wide receivers and then taking over as quarterbacks coach last season. As a former NFL quarterback, he brings a unique perspective to talent development, something that will be crucial with both Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. in the mix. On the other hand, DJ Williams is a rising star in the coaching world. He joined the Falcons last season after spending 5 years as an offensive assistant with the Saints. He may not have played in the NFL, but he was a quarterback at Grambling State and is the son of Super Bowl-winning QB Doug Williams. That football background makes him an exciting addition to Atlanta's staff. Fixing the Falcons' passing game. Atlanta's passing game had some bright spots in 2024. They ranked 5th in total passing yards, with Cousins and Penix combining for over 4,000 yards. But there was a big problem: turnovers. 20th in passing touchdowns, 29th in interceptions. Cousins threw a league-high 16 interceptions. Penix had 3 picks in just 3 starts. Clearly, the talent is there, but the team needs consistency. That's where Yates and Williams come in. Their job will be to bring out the best in this QB room, whether it's helping Cousins cut down on turnovers or developing Penix as the future franchise quarterback. What do you think, Falcons fans? Can Yates and Williams fix the passing game? Or do the Falcons need bigger changes? Let me know in the comments. Will these coaching changes make a difference? Can Yates and Williams take this passing attack to an elite level? Or will the Falcons still struggle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's talk about injuries. The Falcons were relatively healthy in 2024, but injuries still took their toll. Some key players were sidelined and their absence was felt all season. Others were young talents who never got the chance to prove themselves but could make a big impact this year. Here are some important names to watch as they make their comeback. Young-Ho Koo. Can he return to elite form? Let's start with one of Atlanta's most reliable players in recent years, Young-Ho Koo. Or at least he was reliable, until injuries derailed his 2024 season. We know Koo was dealing with something before he landed on injured reserve, but we never really knew how bad it was. What we do know is, started strong, 15 out of 17 field goals made, then struggled, missed 5 of his next 7 attempts, finished the season with a career high in missed field goals. For a team that lost multiple one-score games, those missed kicks hurt. If Koo can get back to his old form and be one of the league's most consistent kickers again, that alone could turn some of those close losses into wins in 2025. Troy Anderson. A defensive star in the making? Falcons fans, do you remember Week 4 against the Saints? 17 tackles, a pick six, all over the field. It looked like Troy Anderson was about to have a breakout season, until injuries cut it short. Troy Anderson, the X-factor on defense? Last season, Troy Anderson barely played. And when he did, he just wasn't the same. But here's the thing. When healthy, Anderson has everything you want in a modern linebacker: speed, coverage skills, a great feel for the game. The Falcons badly missed his athleticism last year. If he stays healthy, he could be the X-factor this defense needs in 2025. Braylon Trice, the pass rush boost. Atlanta never got unlike Anderson. We never even got to see Braylon Trice in action last season. The rookie edge rusher was supposed to be a key piece in fixing Atlanta's struggling pass rush, but an injury in preseason wiped out his entire year. Now, let's be real. Trice probably isn't going to be a 15-sack-per-season guy, but what he can do is be a force against the run, bring steady pressure on the pass rush, and that's exactly what the Falcons need. If Trice comes back strong, he could be a huge help for a defense that needs all the pressure it can get. DeMarco Hellams. The safety depth Atlanta needed. Falcons fans, let's not forget about DeMarco Hellams. We got a glimpse of him in 2023, and he showed a lot of promise. He wasn't a superstar, but he was. Solid in coverage, a sure tackler, a physical presence in the secondary. Unfortunately, he missed all of 2024, and the Falcons felt it. Safety depth was a big issue last year. If Hellams can get back to form, or even take a step forward, he could be a major piece of this defense. And with Jeff Ulbrich now calling the shots, it'll be interesting to see how he fits into the new scheme. Rondale Moore, a speed weapon for the offense. Now, this one is a bit different, because Moore is actually a free agent. Rondale Moore, a speed weapon for the offense? The Falcons clearly had big plans for Rondale Moore before he got hurt last summer. And after struggling with receiver depth in 2024, they might be looking to bring him back. Adding Moore's speed and versatility could give this offense a new dynamic, especially if he's splitting time with Ray McCloud in the slot. Plus, he has experience as a returner, which is another area where the Falcons could use a boost. If they re-sign him, he could be a sneaky good weapon in 2025. Final thoughts. Who will make the biggest impact? All right, Falcons fans, now it's your turn. Who do you think will be the biggest difference maker in 2025? Young-Ho Koo getting back to his clutch ways? Anderson finally having a breakout season? Trice bringing some much-needed pass rush? Hellams locking things down in the secondary? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel Go Falcons,